In this video, I'll introduce you to Buddy Punch's PTO tracking feature. A great advantage to utilizing this when you're already using our time tracking system is that you'll have one less system for you and your employees to manage and keep track of. Let's get started by looking at the time off settings. From the time off settings page, we'll start by enabling time off. There's a few other settings to note up here, allowing employees to view time off calendar for all employees. So with this, they'll be able to see each other's time off requests and if they've been approved. You can also allow employee time off accruals. This is allowing employees to have a balance and accrue time that goes toward that balance. We'll save that. Moving on to the time off earning codes. These are the type of time off codes that your employees will be able to utilize. These are some pretty common ones. Let's take a look at vacation. With this setup, you'll determine if it's paid or unpaid. You can allow negative balances for new employees, a great option if you have new employees that you want to allow to take off some time, but they haven't quite accrued any time off toward their balance yet. This setting allows you to set a maximum number of hours that employees can have at any given time, so it's a rolling cap. The next one is an exceptional one where you can set a maximum annual carryover. This is really convenient because you can determine how many hours an employee can carry over year to year and when that will take place. So you won't have to go in and manually adjust balances to remove any additional time that wasn't used. These two settings can be applied to all employees, or you can come to this section and make individual settings as needed for each employee. After setting up your time off earning codes, you would want to continue on with setting up accrual rules. Here's an example that I already have set up. You can set up a few different frequency options: pay period, hours worked, and yearly. In this case, I'll do that yearly. So the employees would earn the set number of hours on the accrual date and the type of time off that is selected here. And then you can choose which employees this will apply to. This can be really convenient if you do have some employees that earn more hours based on tenure. You can set up multiple rules and apply those to the correct employees to ensure they're earning the right number of hours each year or whatever frequency you are using. Back at the accrual rules section, you can also do accrual entries. These would be one-time adjustments to the employees' balances. So this would be great if you are in the middle of the year or at any point where you need to make adjustments. You would select the type, an entry date, and the number of hours that you're adding or subtracting. Then you'll select the employees that that adjustment will apply to. The next option included in our PTO tracking is blackout dates. You can utilize this to set specific days or time frames when you're not going to allow employees to request time off. Coming in here, we'd select the type of time off that they're not able to utilize and the date, or enter in a date range, and select the employees that that will apply to. Additionally, you can set up holidays on your company calendar. This will allow you to set up holidays where your employees are going to be off and the number of hours they'll be off. You can assign it to the holiday earning code and then which employees this will apply to. Both the blackout days and holidays added to the company calendar will show up on the time off calendar, so you'll be able to see that in other places without having to go back and forth to view that information. Next off, let's take a look at time off in employee profiles. So in the profile, we can go out to the time off section. This is where administrators can view the balances that each employee has. You can also see this view and look at the history of when time off was taken and how much. From that same section, you can also do one-time adjustments from this page instead of the settings to add or subtract hours from balances. The next area that we'll review is the time off calendar located under this time cards tab. From here, as an administrator, you'll see that you can view the blackout dates that we had previously added. You'll also be able to see any employees that are given time off for holidays. In addition, you can add time off requests for your employees. You'd select your employee, the date, time off type, and hours being taken. Here you can also enter date ranges, so if they are taking several days off in a row, you can add those in and the hours per day. And the request will show on the calendar after. It is automatically approved since you're the administrator adding that. The next part that I'd like to show you is from the employee perspective. Here I've logged into an employee account to show you how employees can request time off and view their balances. From their dashboard, they can go to the time cards. I'm going to start off under the time off summary. Here, your employees can view their own time off balances, and they can also view the history, similar to what the administrator can. Under the time off summary page, they'll also be able to see anything that applies to them for their holiday and vacation that has been requested or blackout dates. Next, from the time off calendar, the employee will also be able to see time off for any other employees under this view, and they can request time off too. To request time off, they would click on the date, enter in that request, and then save. After saving it, it's going to go to the administrator to approve that time off request. Here you'll see that it is still pending approval. So moving on, we will take a look at what the administrator sees and how to approve those requests. Here I've logged into an employee account to show you how employees can request time off and view their balances. From their dashboard, they can go to the time cards. I'm going to start off under the time off summary. Here, your employees can view their own time off balances, and they can also view the history, similar to what the administrator can. Under the time off summary page, they'll also be able to see anything that applies to them for their holiday and vacation that has been requested or blackout dates. Next, from the time off calendar, the employee will also be able to see time off for any other employees under this view, and they can request time off too. To request time off, they would click on the date, enter in that request, and then save. After saving it, it's going to go to the administrator to approve that time off request. Here you'll see that it is still pending approval. So moving on, we will take a look at what the administrator sees and how to approve those requests. Logged in as an administrator again, here we'll see a few ways to approve time off requests. From your dashboard, you'll have the time off requests listed here. You can approve those or you can select View. You can also view time off requests from the time off calendar. Here is the one that we just put in. You'll see it's still pending approval, so we can click here and choose to approve or deny that. Now it's all set to go, and the employee will be notified that their time off request has been approved. Tracking PTO and Buddy Punch will also help to simplify your payroll process. Taking a look here under the payroll export, we can see that when PTO is taken, it's going to be included in this reporting in addition to the time the employees already worked. So this should help to streamline your processes and save you time. That concludes our introduction to the PTO tracking feature. If you do have any questions or want to discuss this feature further, please feel free to reach out to our team.